So we have been talking a lot about mindset lately. Can anyone tell me what we've learned or talked about when we talk about mindset? Okay, Calvin?
We talk about growth mindsets and fixed mindsets.
Okay, can you tell me what those are?
Growth mindset is you want to know more, and fixed mindset is you're like is you kind of fixed mindset is like you're like you don't you just choose not to do something.
Okay, you kind of, in a fixed mindset, you kind of get stuck and you're like, that's good enough, whatever, or why bother? You're right, so which one do we want to work toward? Which is better to improving your life? Which
A growth mindset.
Very, very good. So, okay, so we're still on that subject, but we're moving forward a little bit, and we're gonna talk about being optimistic or pessimistic. And optimistic would be kind of like having a growth mindset because you're being positive, you're moving forward. Do you guys understand optimism and pessimism? Do you guys know anything about that? Was that a yes or a no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what can you tell me about it, Calvin?
Optimism means you're being positive, and pessimism means you're being negative.
Okay, I think that's how I would explain it too. So have you guys ever heard about having the glass half full or half empty? Have you guys ever heard that expression, like an attitude toward life? Have you ever heard that, Alex? Okay. Well, how about you, Michael? Have you ever heard it? Having the glass half full attitude toward life or glass half empty?
Well,
Have you ever heard of that?
no.
Okay. Well, we'll learn a little bit something new today because it just means, if you have an attitude toward life that the glass is half full, it's positive. If it's half empty, it's more negative. So I want you guys to think about whether you are positive or negative. And if you think so positive, you would be an optimist, negative, a pessimist. And in a little bit, we're going to do a very non-scientific analysis. But for now, I just want you to make your best guess. If you're an optimist, circle that. If you think you're a pessimist, circle that. Can you pull out a pencil, please? Same here, Alex. If you think you're an optimist, glass half full person, circle optimist. Glass half empty, pessimist. Same for you, Calvin. Optimist, pessimist. Just your best prediction of what you think you are. We will go over that later and get a better idea. Okay, so now I'm going to pass out the vocabulary list. We've already discussed optimist and pessimist, which is at the bottom there. My son, when I showed him the bottle and I said, is it half empty or half full? He said it's both. We're going to fill that out together later. Don't worry about it right now. And he said, he told me it was both. And I learned recently that that's being called an ambivert, which is somewhere in the middle of being an optimist or a pessimist. We're also going to talk today about personality traits. I think it's very important to understand yourself. So we're going to discuss being an introvert or an extrovert. Does anybody in here know what an introvert is? An introvert is...
The professor mentions small circle of friends can feel lonely left and all.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Last in a group.
An introvert?
Yeah, it's
Prefers me.
Yes, they prefer smaller circles of friends, that's correct. They tend to get their energy, introverts, from inside themselves. Where extroverts, you know what an extrovert is?
It's a people who first gets their energy from being around other people.
Right, so extroverts are more energized by being around other people. So that can sometimes be confusing. Sometimes people think, oh, they're shy, they're an introvert, or they're outgoing, they're an extrovert. That's not necessarily true. Okay, the other words on your vocab list are personal, pervasiveness, and permanence. These are just words I want you to understand because they're in the article that we're going to read. Michael, do you think you can read the definitions to me here?
Sure.
Start with permanence. Can you read what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, permanence.
Being permanent. Very lasting permanently.
Right, so permanence is lasting permanently. What about pervasiveness? What does it mean?
vegan. Presented me everywhere, spreading quickly.
That's right, it spreads quickly everywhere. And what does
And
personal
pink.
mean?
And P personal. Belonging to a specific person.
That's right. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys hold on to these vocab lists. When we do our reading, it is absolutely fine if you need to make reference back to it. Okay. So today's reading material is on introversion, extroversion, and optimism and pessimism. Okay. Calvin, will you start us off by reading the first two paragraphs, please? Start with two sets of traits.
Two sets of traits that are core to personality and that are grasped intuitively by young teachers are optimism or pessimism, and introversion or extroversion. Unlike traits whose expression are affected by a social context, these innate traits affect how we respond to social situations.
Okay, do you guys know what innate means? Innate means something you're born with, okay? So, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
First, let's look at introversion slash and extroversion, or extroversion and extroversion. The terms introvert and extrovert were popularized by the brilliant Swiss psychologist Carl Jung in his landmark book, Psychological Types. According to Jung, extroversion and introversion are general attitudes that color individuals functioning in the domains of thinking, feeling, sensation, and intuition. The extrovert is internally motivated and in social situations has the need to join in and get with it. Jung describes the extrovert as a classic people person, interested in making new friends and not being too choosy in doing so. A strong tendency to make a show of oneself. The introvert, on the other hand, prefers to maintain a smaller circle of friends. According to Jung, the introvert holds aloof, does not join in a large gathering. He feels lonely and lost.
Okay, so how would you summarize what you just read about introversion and extroversion? What would you say that they mean?
Extrovert is like has a need to join in like a big group, and introverts are just like a small group of friends to talk to.
Okay, I'd say that's very accurate. Okay, so along with our non-scientific optimism, pessimism evaluation, we're going to also do an introvert, extrovert. I don't want you guys to start it yet, but I want you to think about which one you think you are, and just circle it at the top. You think you're an introvert, more to yourself, or extrovert, more, like being around people and motivated by that. Circle whichever one you predict yourself to be. Okay, Alex, can you please circle if you think you're an introvert or if you think you're an extrovert? Can you circle if you think you're an introvert or an extrovert? Okay, Alex. Can we go back to the reading sheet? I just want to overload you all with papers. Okay, and we're starting on the paragraph when thinking. Can you read that to us, please?
By dating young teenagers in the context of introversion and extroversion, it's important to keep in mind that these are not hard and fast categories. Like most physiological traits, introversion and extroversion exist on a continuum with most people somewhere in the middle, far from the most extreme pole. In 1927, social scientist Kimball Young coined the term ambiverts to describe those youth with a personality type between introvert and extrovert. Most middle schoolers will land closer to ambiverts when pure introverts and extroverts.
Okay. So I want to say this article makes a lot of reference to middle schoolers. I know you guys are high school older. I know you guys have finished your high school curriculum. I know you're working toward career fields. I just want to say, even though it says middle schoolers, it's applicable to everybody. Okay, you guys are going through life changes, you know, personalities are still important, understanding yourself is still important, so I just wanna throw that out there. Okay, after reading what we've read so far, please raise your hand if you think you are an introvert. Do any of you think you're an introvert?
Hmm.
Okay, does anyone think they're an extrovert? Okay,
Hmm.
does anybody consider themselves in the middle as an ambivert?
Sometimes, yeah, I'm kind of an ambivert in some ways, yeah.
Okay, okay, what about you, Michael? Do you think you like being around people more, like getting energized by being around people, or do you like alone time, or do you think you're somewhere in the middle?
Well, I'm not sure.
You're not, that's okay.
Actually, I think I'm somewhere in the middle.
I mean, I think most people are not at one extreme or the other. I mean, I think most of us are somewhere in the middle, so
Somewhere in the middle.
we have different
Well-
traits, but we do tend to lean one way or another, most of us. What were you gonna say something?
Well, I think so,
Okay,
because I'm thinking about when people does making like a person knows who can get this happen when they go like teenager and the other person is like well the other person they like to type on it
are you saying some people are different, like some people?
it's something different.
Okay,
Just like we do.
yeah, we are all different. So, do you like you and Cody, do you think you're more outgoing or? Okay,
Me and
exactly,
Cody are different,
but you're still
and-
close.
and teachers are the same.
Sometimes. But we're different too. Okay.
You can
Not everybody's the same.
Right, we're all different, but we can all get along, right? Okay, Michael, can you do some reading for us? Let's start with It's Also Important, which is, we're bouncing around here, right here.
Alright then. So, it's also important to understand and evaluate and explanation
Synonymous.
There you go. You can read without your mask.
Examination with character traits like shyness or aggression,
Very good.
and the rest of quiet. The power of influence in the world that can stop talking. Susan can divide the two personality traits according to how he organizes to get rid of himself and find that other people drain their energy. In fact, 12 men clearly middle school is a currently period for students and the translation from habits and social fascination of grade school to more challenging and urban work. This is a time shine acrobatic and more instead again to struggle.
Okay, thank you. So if you think about it, when you go from elementary school to middle school, you start doing more independent work, probably, more reading to yourself. Where when you're younger, it's probably more socialization. So it would make sense that people who were more introverted, more comfortable within themselves, would start to shine more, where they may have sat back more when they were younger. That's kind of a generality. It's not necessarily true. It's just something worth, thinking about. Okay, Calvin, can you start reading it regardless, please?
Regardless of whether they fall closer to the introverted or extroverted end of the scale, it's important that teens understand the positive qualities of their type and not embrace negative stereotypes associated with it. Introverted teens may internalize some negative labels of wallflower or nerd. And some teens, especially boys, may own the labels of attention seeker or hyper, when in truth they are extroverts who derive more energy from larger and more fast-paced social settings. Remember, middle schoolers are just entertaining the stage of life at which they will form an enduring identity. Challenge is to help teens embrace the positive aspects of their personality type and harness their energies in the most socially beneficial way.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I just want to say, is it ever okay to call names? Is that ever okay? To call people names?
No.
No, I agree. When people make fun of people, for anything, it's, they internalize it and they're sensitive to it and it sticks with them and it's a lot to overcome. So I just wish people would just avoid it altogether and just not do it, right? Okay, Alex, on the left side of the page, there's a section that says introverts versus extroverts. Who makes the grade? Can you read that for us, please?
Which student enjoys more successes in the classroom? The quiet kids who keeps to himself with an outgoing chatterbox and team player. It depends to a large part of what grade they are in. A team physiologist in the UK conducted a study that correlated students' school performance to various personality traits, including extroversion and introversion. They found that extroverts outperformed introverts during the grade school years, but that introverts generally have stronger grades in secondary school. Why they switch? Introverts may have an advantage or extroverts with respect to the ability to consolidate, learn, as well as the
I'm sorry, my photocopying skills were pretty bad there.
lower
Distracted.
distractibilities and better study
Habits.
habits. That the others include
That's okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry about that. I cut off some letters, so I know that makes it more difficult to read. But okay, so just out of curiosity in here, do you guys notice a difference with your own academics between elementary school or middle school or high school or now? When do you think you did the best?
Yeah, I do. I remember when I would go to middle school, when Mrs. Van became, this was middle school,
Were you his teacher in middle
and
school?
then,
Part of it.
and then, let's see, I was in West Middle School, and then I played volleyball in the gym, and then
See,
oh
like-
yeah, I mean, I got it now. Aaron Jackson got the talent show for me and Cody, and then I know then I do. Then we do Minute to Win It at Wallace Middle School.
And then what did you do in high school? What were you involved in high school? Name 3 things
After
that
I
you did.
got to Wallace Middle School, I got to Central High School. It's the first time. First I went to freshman, do the freshman dance.
Freshman dance.
Then I do the winter drum line.
The drum line, you did, yeah.
Then I do triangles.
Music.
I do. Then a sophomore, Maggie O'Neill being drum major.
Yeah, you were involved in the marching band, the Centerville Jazz Band. And what else? What's the other thing that you did? What did you do with the national anthem?
I remember that I was doing sign language.
Yes, good job.
Doing every day.
That's right. So you,
On junior, I remember when me and Cody dancing with the co-ed pop rally.
And then you guys taught your own Zumba classes, right?
to adults.
To
Yes.
adults, yeah, I'm impressed by that. So,
And on senior class,
He went through.
I remember when me and Cody do hand clap
Mm-hmm.
every
Uh,
day.
well,
just.
And class in 2018.
Mike forgot to switch the sign to go.
oh, okay, well, that, we can leave it for now, Calvin, thank you, but we can leave it for now.
And
Unless it bothers you, if it really bothers you, you can change it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So Michael, it sounds like, am I correct?
after that, I go Tom.
Okay, should I assume, it sounds like you became more and more involved in school as you got older, is that correct, in activities? That you started
Yeah.
doing more and more and becoming more into yourself and knowing who you were and what you like to do, is that correct?
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to learn as we get older. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Alex, okay? Alex, when do you think that you, did best? Elementary, middle, high school, now?
High school?
High school? Do you think you came more into yourself in high school as well and learning who you were?
Yeah.
Or you just were more comfortable?
I'm just more than comfortable.
Do you think you did better though? Why do you think you did better? Is that why?
Yeah, I did, well, no, when I used to work here, I did better when I work here.
Okay. What did you do? I don't think I knew you worked there.
Like,
Like a job? You like did a job at the high school or you mean going to school work?
going to school work.
Okay, okay. So you worked harder. Okay. So Calvin, how about you? Elementary, middle, high school, now? Looking forward to the future?
Now.
Now? Gonna seize the day?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's what I wanna do too, seize the day. Okay, so I am, who did I have read last? I'm sorry, I got distracted. Alex? Okay, thank you. Okay, Michael, can you? Okay, can you read for me, please? Half empty or half full? Can you start this section?
Half empty or half full. Ask just about a 7th grader. Are you Eeyore or Tigger? Donkey,
I love that.
Eeyore or Dragon?
Okay.
Good job.
and they instantly understand what you are asking. Are you upbeat and look on the right side? Or do you dread to be gloomier and anyway see what's wrong with things? In short, are you an optimist or treatment?
Pessimist.
Yes. Okay, go ahead and read the next paragraph.
Like-
please.
Like inflation or accident. The phrase of optimist and treatment are expressed through some injury. But I like the more build-up, introduction, or accident. And breath. Except treatment are linked to the physical order. Such as distracted as well as to risky behavior. And one decision the object I was leading with the group of team. A girl and man that she was under a strike, but that she was drunk or alcohol in order to make herself more donkey carefree, fun loving, and so she fought popular.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Okay, I'm gonna reread that paragraph just because I think it's important and it needs emphasis, okay? Like introversion, extroversion, the traits of optimism and pessimism are expressed through our social interactions. But unlike the more benign introversion-extroversion spectrum, excesses of pessimism are linked to psychological disorders such as depression, as well as to risky behaviors. In one discussion of the topic, I was leading with a group of teens. A girl admitted that she was usually a Shrek, but that she would use drugs and alcohol in order to make herself more of a donkey. Carefree, fun-loving, and so she thought popular. Now here's my question. Do you guys think that worked for her?
Not really. Not really.
Why not, Calvin?
Drugs are they're not necessary, cause you don't wanna overdo it, like with drugs and alcohol.
No, you don't wanna do it. Just stay away from it. People, she probably thought.
It's okay to do it once in a while though, like if you need to do it.
It's okay if your parents and doctors say, hey, you need this medication to treat your whatever, and you're under a doctor's care. That's okay. And maybe alcohol when you're older, we're not gonna discuss that here, but, or socially, but it is not okay just to recreationally take anything ever. It's just for fun. No, that's not okay. It causes problems. It's better just to stay away from it and avoid it always.
It's like sometimes like when you're younger you can have just a teeny bit of it, but if you're older you can have, you still don't wanna have too much. Like
Yeah.
you still wanna do in moderation no matter what age you are.
I think that's good advice. Yeah, I may give my kids a sip of wine or something at a holiday, but yeah, no, yeah. But that's between you and your parents. Okay. It's just better to stay away from it. I mean, people, when they're on drugs, they aren't thinking clearly. So I imagine this girl perceived herself as having fun. I wasn't there, I don't know. I imagine people were laughing at her and she thought, oh, look how popular I am. But, her judgment could not have been good. She was not clear-headed. Okay, so Alex, will you read the rest of it, please? Or well, the rest of the page, starting with Martin Seligman. Oh, I skipped over you, Calvin. Oh, well, that's okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But where?
Martin Seligman in the last.
the last paragraph.
Yes.
Martin Seligman, founders of positive physiology movement, has done extensive research on optimism, pessimism, and their links to social and emotional functioning, especially among children and teens, according to Seligman. Optimism and pessimism run deeper than simple positive thinking, and thinking there are in fact style of surgical thinking. Seligman, 1995. According to Seligman, optimists and pessimists have different ways to analyze evidence, and there's causes these different habits of both results of what they call different explanatory style. When analyzing any negative experience, the teams will consider its causes along three dimensions: permanence and pervasiveness and personal.
Okay, so now those words, permanence, you guys can turn the page. Those words, permanence, pervasiveness, and personal, were words on your vocabulary list. If you need to make reference about them to remind yourself what they were, that's fine. Alex, will you keep reading though? Will you read what it says next to permanence, please?
Permanence are causes of bad events, temporary or permanent. Pervasiveness,
Pervasiveness.
pervasiveness, do bad things occurring in certain areas of life, or do they follow you around like a black cloud? Personal, are you personally to blame for the bad things that happen in your life? Seligman, 1995.
Okay, read that next sentence, please.
The child's customer may respond to these questions will determine whether she is an optimist or a pessimist, but more than a greater extent than.
Oh, okay, thank you. So, okay, I think it's important to realize that things that happen in our life, situations, they're almost always temporary. I mean, it's easy to get in the mindset that things are bad, they're always bad, you know. It's easy to get stuck in that mindset, but most of the time things, you know, they eventually change. It doesn't rain every day, you know, so things get better. Okay, I skipped over you a minute ago, Calvin. So, can you read this paragraph here that says what's more? Right here, please.
What's more, to a greater extent than extroversion or introversion, optimism and pessimism are learned responses. Seligman coined the term learned helplessness to describe individuals whose environments have caused them to internalize the belief that negative things are permanent, pervasive, and personal. These individuals are at higher risk for depression, anxiety, and other mental health disorders.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. It's important to realize that situations they're not permanent. Okay, so but for our purposes here, to cultivate self-awareness, we're going to use the assessments that we passed out a minute ago. Again, I want to remind you guys, these are not scientific tests. I just pulled them out of a workbook. You know, I don't know how accurate they really are. But they can still give you some insight on how you relate to other people. And if you see the glass is half full or half empty. Okay, so can we all pull out our optimist or pessimist worksheet, please? Let's go to the next one right here. We'll come back to that. Do you think you're an optimist or a pessimist, Michael? Okay, so we will fill these out together. Okay, on this, I'll read it. You're gonna mark either 1 for no way, 2 if it's close to no way, but not all the way there, 3 if you're close to that's me, or 4 if that's you. Okay, so number 1, things usually turn out for the best for me. No way, or that's me, or somewhere in the middle. Do things usually turn out the best for you? If that's you, it's a 4. No way, 1. Or if it's close to no way, 2. Or close to that's me, it's 3. Big decisions here.
is it no way, that's me, or somewhere in the middle,
That's right. It's one of those four. What do you think, Michael?
or somewhere?
It's like he's thinking.
Yeah, deep in thought.
Maybe in the middle, Michael?
If it's that hard, I said.
Got it.
All right. Okay. Okay. Number 2, it's easy for me to relax. No way, that's me, you're in the middle.
Got it.
All right. Number 3, if something can go wrong, it will. Okay. Number 4, my future's so bright, I've gotta wear shades.
Sometimes you're like, is it that's me, no way, or somewhere in the middle?
Yep. What do you think? I know with me, it depends on the day, so, you know. Okay, number 5, I enjoy my friends a lot. Okay, number 6, I always keep busy. Number 7, I hardly ever count on things going my way. Number 8, it does not take much to get me angry. Number 9, I do not get my hopes up. Number 10, when all is said and done, I expect more good things to happen to me than bad things to happen. Okay. Now I need you guys to go through and cross out numbers 2, 5, 6, and 8. Those were just filler questions. So we'll cross out
Absolutely.
2, 5, 6, and 8. We're just gonna ignore those, okay?
It's like how to score the survey.
Yeah. 2, 5, 6, and 8. We're just gonna totally ignore these. They were just questions to tease y'all. Okay. All right. Now we want to add up the answers to questions 1, 4, and 10. You want to take the numbers. So you have, for number 1, you have 4. Number 4, you have 1, so that's 5. And 10, you have 1, so 6. That is your O score. You add those up and put it next to O. So 1, you have 3. 4, you have 2, so that's 6. And 10, you have 2, so that's 8. Can you put an 8 there? Okay. Do you have yours? Okay. 1, you have 4. 4, you have 3, so you've got 7. And 10, you have another 4. So 8, 9, 10, 11. See? Okay, just checking. Okay. Now we need to look at numbers 3, 7, and 9, and we want to add those up for our P-score. So 3 is 2. What's he have for 7? So 2, 4, so you've got 6,
Thank
and then 3, so that's 9. So your P is 9. What did you have for here, for O? Let's go back here, 1, 4, and 10. 4, 5, 6. So this was 6. So you're going to subtract that from that. It's going to be negative. It's going to be minus 3. Well, can you use your
I
pencil?
know.
I'll write it down for you.
I got it.
Okay.
The last thing by 9
No.
minus 6.
You can do it.
Okay.
3.
It would be 3, but since 9 is bigger than 3, it's going to be negative 3. So can you
No.
write a negative 3 here? Good job. And we want to circle negative 3 here. Okay. So you're close to the center, more pessimistic. To be honest, I always am too. So, okay. So there's that. Okay. For your P-score, number 3, we've got 2. For 7, we've got 1, so there's 3. And for 9, we have another 2, so 5. So 5 is for P, P5. And then 12 minus 5, what's that? 7. Okay, so can you circle this here? And you are very optimistic. Okay, very
would be 6.
Okay, so this is where you fall, a 6 on the optimism scale. Okay, again, that's not scientific, but it's just kind of a little fun thing to know where we land. Who got what they thought they were gonna get? Calvin did. Alex did. I don't know, Michael, you circled optimist or pessimist. Maybe you thought you were both. Were you an ambivert, somewhere in the middle? Because you were kind of close to the middle. You might have been right too. You know? Yes. Okay, let's all.
Sometimes we can all be like somewhere in the middle.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, most people aren't that extreme. Okay, let's switch to our introvert versus extrovert analysis. Are you okay? Yeah, let's switch over to that. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna write true or false next to these statements. Number 1, some people might say I'm boring. T for true or F for false? Okay, number 2, if you have a problem with me, tell me to my face. True or false? Number 3, I work well as part of a team. Number 4, I speak before I think. Number 5, people tire me out. Number 6, I almost never pick up my cell phone when it rings. Number 7, I make people laugh. Number 8, I can text, play a video game, and help my brother with his homework at the same time. Number 8, oh, I messed up, guys. I skipped, I make people laugh. I'm glad you guys are on it.
I make people laugh.
You
skip
guys
number
remember?
7. Yep.
I skipped number 7, but you guys figured it out. You're on top of it, okay. Number 9, my dream weekend, just kicking back with nothing to do at all. Okay, number 10, I'd rather hang out with one friend than go to the mall with a group. Number 11, I hate it when people look over my shoulder when I'm doing something. That's what I do to Judy B all the time. Looking over her shoulder all the time.
It's okay.
Thank you.
So, I'd say I'm actually in the middle between introvert and
That's okay, just pick which one you think's more. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay, well, yeah, we'll
actually,
figure it
I'm
out.
somewhere in the middle.
You think you're an ambivert?
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Number 12, I hate writing in a journal. Number 13, I hate to be alone. Number 14, I'm going to be rich and famous, seriously. Number 15, I don't say much unless I really know you. Number 16, I'm a good listener. Number 17, when it's my birthday, please don't make a big deal out of it. Number 18, I really, really do not like homework. Number 19, I focus on one task at a time. And 20, I am a thrill seeker. Okay, now, I want you to look at number 2. If for number 2 you circled, or you wrote true, I want you to circle the number 2. So you wrote true for 2, so please circle that. And you wrote true, is that a true or false?
False.
Oh wait, no, that's fine, don't erase it, you're fine. Number 3, did you write true for 3? Is that a true? Okay, so circle 3. If you wrote true for number 3, please circle it. Okay. For number 4, if you circled true, please circle it. Are you with us, Calvin? Number 7, if you, okay, please don't circle all your truths, Michael. They're different ones mean different things. So let me go back, I'm just gonna borrow this for a second. 2, 3, 4. Actually, you're okay, so 7, 8. Oh, you were following directions, listen to me. You knew what you were doing, oh my gosh, okay, just ignore me. Okay, so what number were we on?
Good job, Michael.
Hey,
Number 8? Okay, yeah, 8 if it's true, circle true. Okay, 12 if it's true, circle that. 13 if it's true, circle that. 14 if it's true, circle that. 18 if it's true, circle that. And 20 if it's true, circle that. Okay, you did great, buddy. Now can you go through and count your circles? Oh, don't circle the other ones. We don't want to circle that yet. Can you erase that, please? Because
Just,
we're gonna change that. We're gonna do it differently. But let's circle your count your two, or your circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that will go next to E. We'll do I's in a minute.
Wait, circle 1.
You just counted your circles. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you did good. Did you count your circle? Yep, okay. So now we're gonna go through, the numbers I read, if you marked true, we're gonna draw an X through those, okay? So number 1, did you write true? If you wrote true, write an X. If not, you can skip it. Okay, so like you wrote false, if you don't wanna write anything, okay?
I don't wanna do anything if
Okay.
it's false.
So number 5, did you write true? If so, draw an X.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Number 6, if you wrote true, draw an X. So very good. Did you write 6 true?
3,
9, if you wrote true, draw an X.
7,
Okay.
9, that 10.
Okay, we're gonna go back through these in a minute.
10.
Okay, we're gonna go back through yours. Okay, 11, if you wrote true, draw an X. 15, if you got true, you draw an X.
Look. Can you start over?
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Number 1, 5, 6. Okay, so 5 you don't want that, because it's false. So 6, it's true, so that's good. So that one you wrote false, you don't want to do that. 10, true, so you want an X. 11, 15, true, X. 16, true, X. 17, is that a true or a false? Is that a
Yeah,
false?
false.
Okay. 19, true, so X. So now you just want to count your X's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
8.
Okay, so 5. So you want to write a 5 here. So 8 minus 5 is 3. So you want to circle a 3. So you are close to the center, but more of an extrovert, okay? Okay, Calvin, did you get yours? Were we okay on yours? We did. We wanted to do X's.
I'm right in
You're right in the middle, dude. You have a verb.
that,
All
and
right.
you said you were. You thought you
Yeah, you called that. Okay, we're
I'm
going
right.
to double check this. Let me just borrow this for a second. Okay, Michael. So 1, 5, 6, 9. Okay, so you get an X there. 10, 11, 15. Whoops, that was not right. 16, 17, and 19. So you have 3, 4, 5. 5 I's. I'm gonna double check your E's. Thank you.
10, so 10 minus 5
True.
equals 5.
Mhm.
Yes, that is correct. That is good math. I'm gonna double check these though.
So negative 5.
You're way ahead of me, mister. Way ahead of me.
She's
So
checking.
10 minus 5 equals
Is this a true or a
negative
false?
5.
Is 13 a
It's
true or a
false.
Okay, thank you. which is 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's
So
negative
you're-
1.
a regular one. So right here on your list, right here, you are also awfully close to being an ambivert, just right to the right a little bit for an extrovert. So that's very interesting. Okay, so we went over yours. Okay, well that's interesting. You guys are all really close to the center. I find that very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, guys, you have done wonderfully. Now we are doing a test. An assessment, no grade, no pressure. But I just want to see how well you guys understand what we went over. So we will read it out loud because Sarah made a mistake on here that I'm going to have to review anyway. My husband loves to point out my mistakes, so.
Should I write my name on this?
You can keep it for yourself, whatever you want. But here's our quiz.
I'll return it.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, so we're gonna read the first question, and I want you to circle what that says. Alex studied really hard for his math test and knows he received a perfect score. Is Alex an optimist or a pessimist, or at least in this situation?
In this
Please.
situation.
Yeah, so please circle what you think he is. Okay, the second one, what do you think, Michael? Alex studied really hard for his math test and knows he received a perfect score.
So Alex and
Okay. Now number 2, I wrote, Sarah doesn't want to be bothered studying because she's going to fail anyway. And my husband pointed out that that could be kind of confusing. So let's just say Sarah is not going to study because she's going to fail anyway.
yeah.
Is Sarah being an
Yeah,
optimist or a
and-
pessimist?
Like, you try to rephrase that. but-
Yeah, I had to rephrase number 2 because it could have gone either way with the way my husband interpreted what I wrote. So Sarah's not going to study. She's going to fail. Am I being optimistic or am I being pessimistic?
Like, just in the situation.
Okay, just in that situation. Okay, are we ready for the next one? Samantha knows she has a great talent for decorating cupcakes. Is she an optimist or a pessimist?
Samantha and
Okay. Okay. Cody says he is going to be in the next performance because he has awesome dance moves.
yeah. My
Yeah.
cousin Cody and
Optimist or pessimist? Okay.
yeah.
Sophia and Michael are gonna hang out because it is too exhausting when they get together with a large group.
yeah.
Are they introverts or extroverts?
Sophia and me
That's right. You're gonna hang, right?
with a large group.
Okay. Are they introverts or extroverts? Okay. Atia cannot wait until the weekend because all of her friends are gonna be there. Is she an introvert or an extrovert?
Wait, hold on. Did they tell is a girl or
Mhm.
boy?
It's,
Atia's a
yeah,
girl.
Atia's a girl.
Yeah, I need that.
I'm just curious. If she was a boy, would it have changed your answer?
Yeah.
It would have? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So,
just-
all right, last question. I had to throw everybody's name in this one because Elise, Josh, Emma, Trent, Calvin, Zach, Taylor, and Bilal will not quit talking because they are so excited to be back at school again. Are they
That's
introverts or?
That's
extroverts?
answer.
What is it?
Listen to the question.
That is 8 of them. Are they being introverts or extroverts? Okay, good job, guys. Do you guys have any questions about anything we went over today?
No,
No? You think you're all set?
I'm all set.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you